ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to a collecting weekly, I don't want to call it a live unboxing, maybe a statue showcase. I'm joined by Dean the Dream Martin, and I have the Prime 1 quarter scale Guts from the Berserk anime. This is the Black Swordsman statue, and I picked it up this week, and we're gonna. It's such a big piece, Dean. I don't think it was ever going to work as a live unboxing. It's like something like 60 something pounds of solid resin. I just, I felt like this was definitely something that we had to do as a showcase rather than watch my fat ass stumble putting a statue together for an hour.
That's fine.
Anyways, can you keep an eye on the chat for me? So, this is, like I mentioned, the Prime 1 quarter scale Guts. I've had this kind of a deal with one of our Patreonies for a few months now while I was kind of getting my shit together. And back in August, September, I started watching the Berserk anime and was trying to see like what pieces were out there because obviously Guts is a total badass. And I wanted some representation of him in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Not even a cabinet at this point. It's like a whole ass fucking
Area.
shelf on its own, yeah. And so Ricardo, I mean, really the price, this was $1,000 retail statue. But the secondhand price on the 6 scale, Dean, was up there in the $500, $600, $700 range.
Right.
Especially since the creator of Berserk passed away, unfortunately. And the figure arts were extremely high on the secondary market as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, when that happens, the scalpers come in.
I have my Guts right here.
Look at that. Bemis says, congrats, welcome to the Prime 1 world. We got Jabin and Badfish in the chat. But Ricardo was nice enough to do retail on the statue. And he had already paid, obviously the insane shipping price. And really, which probably was almost as much as the piece itself. And then I guess any taxes, and he just charged me retail, so it was a huge savings, and it was well under the price of eBay for this piece, and also he was real flexible with the payment plan. So, just giving you an overview of the statue, this is really a diorama piece. I would almost say the accoutrement that's on the base, like just I guess in pure volume, is much more than than Guts. Like there is a ton of stuff on this base. Not only is there a ton of stuff, there's quite a few swap outs. There's quite a few. I mean, I don't want to call them necessarily non-required parts, but it's very displayable in sort of different configurations, and it's not. Like even now, I'm missing a few pieces, and it's not too distracting that it's missing those pieces. But let me go through and I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm gonna move up. We'll get a close up on the portrait. We'll talk about the secondary portrait, and then we'll just kind of start going through the base. And I'm still very rookie in the Guts world, so Dean, I'll probably need some of your help talking about some of these guys on the base. But I just think it'd be nice if we could just kind of go through the different spots. And there are some things that I don't like about the statue, and we'll definitely touch on those. But overall, I think this is an absolutely fantastic piece. So let me zoom in on the portraits, and I will be right back.
What's up, Erwin, Pemrika, Jabin, Battlefront? Nice, dude. Erwin, who isn't a fan of Berserk at this point? It's just an incredible fucking work of art.
Trying to get my tripod in order. But yeah, so this is the first portrait here. This was the one that we decided to go with when we were setting it up. You do get a second one, and this is the smirking face. And paint-wise, sculpt-wise, super impressive. I think the thing that I enjoy the most, the hair is really well sculpted, really fine details there. but I feel like it's not overdone. Like he has some cuts on his face, but I know they did make a bloody version where he's just like drenched in blood,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I didn't go that route. I think that's maybe a bit too much for me. But this is just the classic cocky Guts expression. And I believe, Dean, you said this was the portrait that they went with on the third scale, or is this one of the portraits that they went with?
Yeah. He usually has a like a real fucking like shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah. So let me take this portrait off. I'll give you guys a 360, and then we'll also swap it with the. So I did not get the exclusive version, which is the third sculpt. But honestly, the two that I got, I think, are pretty good for, a lot of people for some reason don't like the third one, which I think is like a very overly smirking sculpt.
Yeah, almost like an evil grin.
Yeah. So there's the brand there. Nice and bloody. We'll go ahead and take this one off frame.
John Ortiz, what's up, buddy?
Bemis says, how tall is he? I believe the website says he's 24, 25, 26 inches tall. But I feel like he's a little taller than that because he should have fit exactly where I needed him to fit. But I had to actually raise my shelf by like 6 inches. So I don't know if they're measuring from the top of the base to the top of the pommel of the sword. Instead of including the, like kind of like the depth of the base from top to bottom. But the base is fucking tall. Like as soon as I put the base on there, Dean and I were like, yeah, this is not going to fit at all. So let me show you the alternate portrait here. So a little bit more stoic. You still get a little bit of the teeth there. And let me turn my mic. Now this one, the brand is not bleeding as much. I love the detail there. Go ahead and put this on. I'll grab the mic. So this one is obviously very stoic. But I really love the way they did the paint. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but I mean, there's some good shadowing there. There's a good stippling of the different flesh tones. And I do quite like that. So we'll keep that portrait on and we'll go ahead and look at the sword here. So you do have two options for the sword. So this one is sort of him holding the sword into this beast, and it's like almost like a 3/4 version of the sword. You also have one where he has the sword over his back, and that one is fucking massive. Yeah. Like I believe it takes it to like almost like 40 inches tall, which is
because his sword. I believe we did the math the other day in the chat because Eric was asking about how tall his sword is, and I have those like Ultimania books on Berserk, and it says because unfortunately it's very inconsistent the manga because sometimes Guts is like 8 feet tall, and then sometimes he's just like normal size, and then but I think he's supposed to be around like 6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a big guy. But like I said, sometimes he's like 8 feet. So it's like,
yeah. Now, usually I'd always been a fan of like soft goods, but I'm really glad that both the end of the sword and then also the cape are sculpted. I just think, like, as good as futzing as anyone can be, I just think that you would never get it to look this good. And the cape is fucking massive. It's heavy. It's solid. Like, I mean, that fucker's not going anywhere. And it keys in quite nicely. So there's the pommel there. The armor does have a little bit of blood on it. Not too much. Kind of enough just to get you by. There's a little bit on the thigh there. You can see looking into the kind of like the leather goods. You have that real nice... I don't know how well this is showing up to you, but you have that real nice black sort of grain in the leather, and I think that looks really good. The metal looks really good, and all the chain that you see, it's not real chain. It almost feels like a little bit of plastic, but it does have a little bit of movement to it. So it's not like sculpted polystone. You can see there's got some blood on his right arm, which is obviously from the sword and from this big fucking demon. The armor looks good, real good weathering. Definitely a nice little dry brush and a little bit of sculpt. I think they probably could have gone a bit higher with the weathering, a little bit more chrome in there. But since his armor is a mix of like the chain and the actual real chrome stuff, I think it probably would have muddied the look a bit. So I can see why they didn't do that. The blood on the sword looks great, and that also continues on to the actual swap out sword. That thing is just covered. So let me recalibrate the camera. It's such a big statue. I feel like I'm gonna have to keep kind of like moving the tripod around, and we'll take a look at the Beast of Darkness and some of the details on the base. And we'll also, like I said, we'll talk about some things I don't like. Because this statue was a little bit different than I think anything I've owned. It was also very premium. Yeah. And I didn't really know what to expect. And I feel like in some areas I was a little bit let down. So let me put this mic down.
Absolute Irwin says, this is what got me supporting the network. Glad to see some IPs getting some love from you guys. Eva, SDF Macross, and Berserk, and more anime IPs. Hell yeah. I've been getting really into anime lately. Chris V says, yo, he's in the chat. Pemrika said, he's a big presence in your room now. Yeah, it's a fucking eye catcher for sure. This is actually one of the reasons why my sister didn't get this quarter scale is because of how, like, gruesome the base is. She was like, I want the focus to be guts, not, like...
Yeah, I can see where you...
Guts.
I mean, literally, there is entrails on the statue.
Yeah, Gilbert says... Guts is one of the best manga characters. Are you planning on getting the new Guts Berserk Armor Rage Edition Prime 1?
So in a perfect world, if both money and space are not an option, I think personally I'd rather, like, if I could have my pick of the litter, I think I would have probably picked up the Berserker Armor. I think that's my favorite look for Guts. But this is a very close second. And honestly, like, the price that I got on this statue... we had more people filter in, but I mean, I paid $1,000 for this, and this is a statue that, even though it did retail for $1,000, you cannot touch it for that price. And I was able to do a local pickup thanks to Dean the Dream, taking me to this guy's place. That alone, if I shipped it from Japan or from another collector in the United States, two massive, 50, 60 pound boxes, like. Yeah. That would easily almost double the price, especially with today's shipping prices. This would not have been possible. So
not only that, but Kentaro Miura passing away. Now, Zach, you're relatively new to the Berserk game,
very new.
But Berserk stuff in general, I guess they just don't make a lot of Berserk stuff. So the shit they make always skyrockets in price. It's fucking annoying. It's like, can you just make more, please, so I can buy it?
Yeah.
So yeah, this statue for sure is gonna be very untouchable sooner than later.
Can you do me a favor? Can you, while I'm talking about some of the base, can you look up what the eBay sold is on this? Like, sure. Just in general?
CC says, just you two tonight? Are we supposed to pretend the other guys have better stuff to do?
So full disclosure, we were not supposed to stream tonight, and so we kind of told everyone, like, enjoy the whatever, enjoy your time. But I fell asleep at 8, and whenever I fall asleep early, I always wake up and I was like, yo, it's time to stream, bro. It's time to stream, and I wanted to. I'm having such a pain in the butt, Dean. So Dean and I shot an unboxing of this, and it's not anything super professional by any means. But holy shit, getting things from one device to another to edit and to upload is so fucking difficult. I'm ready to give up on it. So I thought, let's just get on stream. We'll do it live. So on the right, we have the Beast of Darkness. Beautiful paint, beautiful sculpt. The absolute eye-catching thing, the eyes, this bright red gloss paint. I love everything about this. The way the nails are done, the paint apps here, just really good. Same with the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth actually look like fucking teeth. It's weird.
Yeah, so let me get the camera situated like that. Beautiful sculpting. I mean, this looks as good as I mean, this could be its own statue, right? Like, it's fucking huge.
Right.
And you get this as part of this bigger piece. You have Puck here on this pommel, and I apologize for the.
Pema says, "Did you pay Dean for shipping?" He actually did.
I paid him for gas. Yeah.
Let's see. Equan says, "Now you've tasted Prime 1, getting the get the Batman 2." Robbie Rocketfingers, yeah, there isn't a whole lot of Berserk items. I Am Legend said, "I called to ask for a standard container. It costs $15,000 to $21,000 right now. Fucking wild."
Jesus.
Robbie Rocket Figures, I recently bought the Berserk Figma figures after seeing a good price online. Yeah, they're coming down a little because they reissued Griffith and Guts. I want them to reissue Casca, goddammit.
Dude, I almost think after having this, it's like this satisfies all the boxes. I almost might sell my Figma. Like, I don't think... I'll let you know. I know you wanted that one.
I'm more attached to his Band of the Hawk look, but any Guts in the collection is great. That's absolutely Irwin. I just like the sword. I like his sword better when he's fucking Black Swordsman.
Yeah. So we'll go into the base. So we have Puck on a sword, and this Puck has a little bit of soft goods on the pom-pom. And I actually don't mind it. I think it blends really well. I think if it was sculpted, I don't think it would look as good. And you do get a swap out piece for the end of the sword. It's the end of the pommel. So basically all the 3 pucks that are on the statue can be removed, and they do include swap out parts that can fill the little, like for example, this puck here is on a rock. You get the same rock without puck. Right. Now this puck down here is the first complaint that I'll point out. And I think it's something that you're going to see throughout this piece. Now, I mentioned this is my first Prime 1 piece, but this is not my first statue. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I have like, almost like 10 statues by this point. And no statue that I've ever had has had this many swap outs. And I get it, but I feel like the keys, I don't like the way these key in. So this puck in particular just barely fits in there, and it's on a little rod, but like it doesn't feel good. And this one, same with the sword, like it doesn't really feel like it's like, I know it's keyed in, and I know there's absolutely no damage to the key itself or the piece, but several things throughout this statue are in there, but they don't feel great. Like every statue that I have, the Diva's a great example because she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's like 10 pieces of a statue. Everything keys and is magnetized, and it feels like incredible. Like it's in there. But I don't know. I wish, like, I almost want to go in and coat the end of the rod, because it's just like a steel rod, in a little bit of nail polish just to thicken it up just a little bit so it keys in a little nicer. And it's not just on this, like the actual rock keys in pretty loose as well. But the painting on the pucks is really good. So let me get you a close up there. Painting, sculpting, really good. Again, a great piece. You also got some detail on the base. So we got some skulls here. The brand right here, it's a removable piece, and that magnetizes in. But same thing, like it doesn't feel like great. And almost all the pieces, like in particular, and you and I noticed this, Dean, when we were putting the statue together, this is a huge fucking piece. And this didn't feel really in there until we got the sword in the head as well. And then it really, now this is solid. Like this isn't going anywhere. But until we got that sword, it just didn't feel right. And going on here, one of the demons, same thing. Like it's there, and it's magnetized, so I'm not worried about it just falling out one day. But it's like there's too much play there, and I don't love that. And going back here, same thing. Like that should not have that much play. It's in there, like they're all magnetized or steel rods, so like I'm not worried about it. And obviously it's a statue, like I'm not gonna be touching it or God forbid, like I hope I don't ever bump it. But it just
statue, you're probably gonna bump it.
It just feels like it feels cheap that it does that. You know what I mean? And it's not a cheap piece by any means. Like I think, you know, if a $100 statue from Iron Studios, everything keys in perfectly and firmly, I feel like a $1,000 statue from Prime 1 should also do that. Now, on that note, there are supposed to be 3 arrows that are in this guy's head. You can see the holes there, and I think there's one up there. They are just super loose in those holes. And I 100% know they're going to fall out for some stupid reason one day, and I'm going to step on them and break them. So once I get this statue to sort of like its permanent position when we get our next home, I think I'm going to put a little tiny bit of nail polish and try to kind of just keep them in that position. But really, those are my main complaints. I Am Legend says, I think it's okay since it's a statue. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you're probably right, but I think for me it's like, you know, I've had cheap statues that didn't have this problem, and I don't love the idea of my most expensive piece having that problem. Let me turn on one more light just so we can get some light on this left side of the statue, and then we'll kind of keep going through the base. But let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back.
Absolute Irwin, if you have the manga or deluxe hardcovers from Dark Horse, they released the sword as bookends. I've seen that sword, and I have the hardcovers, all the ones they've released so far.
Yeah, Legend, that's something also wrapping it with clear tape or painter's tape, and I'll probably go and do that at some point. But yeah, this, because it's such a nice statue, like really you're kind of like, what's the phrase, Dean? Splitting hairs to find things you don't like about it. Because I do think, you know, any piece does deserve some criticism. And really, that's the only thing that stuck out. Like, the paint is impeccable. I don't know if you call it, like, resin, like what they cover these pieces in to make them look so glossy. Mm-hmm. Very well applied. Same with the blood and the guts, and also guts. It's just, like, just assembling it. Like, you and I kept commenting, like, this doesn't feel right. Like, we double-checked the keys are set, double-checked the pictures on the website. And I don't know. But I don't believe that I've seen this character yet, Dean. Is this any particular special character? This guy right here?
I don't think so.
I think it's just like one of the generic demons, right?
Yeah, I mean, he gets attacked by them pretty much fucking constantly, so...
Yeah.
That's what the brand on his neck is.
Yeah. It's massive. Like, this thing in itself, like, the head of this beast is bigger than the Tyrannosaur by Iron Studios. And that Tyrannosaur, like, was, you know, for a while, the biggest thing that I had owned in the collection. But yeah, you can see where it's missing the arrows. And I mean, I really wish, because it comes with 3, I really wish they gave you a second set. I feel like I'd be more inclined to pose it if I knew I had a backup. Because it's a statue, and you can't really just get replacement parts for a statue.
Right.
It's sold out. So let me go to this side. How does that look? There's really not a lot of light. I felt like that was going to be the problem. But back here, there's another puck. You can kind of see him up there. And then you also have... There's the... I feel like I just saw this episode the other day. This is like the child, I think, that goes inside the egg, if I'm not mistaken. Dean, do you know about this?
A child that goes inside... Oh! Yeah, like follows him around?
Yeah. So he's in the back of the base.
Yeah,
is that him?
Maybe.
It looks like him.
It's
so
like...
he's back there.
That's such a fucked up part of the story. It's like his unborn kid.
Yeah.
Or something.
Now you can see the holes in the wall.
But it's also like... forgot. You have to ask my sister about it. She's the expert.
You can see I had to raise this shelf quite a bit. And so let me give you guys kind of a wide view of this area now. Yeah. This is a massive piece. And, you know, I feel like no matter how long this, you know, look at this piece would be, it's like we're always going to miss some stuff. But I highly recommend it. The painting, the sculpting is immaculate. You know, really the only complaint I have is just some of the keys. I feel like they could be a bit better. And on the puck in the back, he doesn't really attach to anything. Like, there's 2 little holes for his feet, and they kind of just push in there, and there's no magnets or anything. It's a weird connection, and Ricardo said that he had actually never displayed that because of it. And he said that when he was checking the box for the final inspection, he noticed that the ear was, I guess, cracked and at one point glued back by the factory. So that is a thing. And it's such a small, like, issue, and you don't see it because of where it's at in the statue. So, like, it didn't really bother me, and I think I can always fix it if I need to. CC says, I feel like Mr. X commenting on a statue I know nothing about just because it looks so cool. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I've not, like, read the manga at all, and I haven't finished all the anime, but it's just such a cool character, such a cool piece, such a great price that I knew would sell very quickly had Ricardo listed it in one of these groups. It was like commit now, and like, you know, worst case I can always move it on if I end up not liking the anime, but I loved it. But this piece is absolutely beautiful. I think the only time since I started collecting statues that I really felt like absolutely like speechless about a piece was with the Rex. You know, so I mean, this is just a really nice piece. And Erwin says, will this change the flow of your collecting, like, more statues down the road? This wasn't the piece that made that change, to be honest. Honestly, the Diva statue, which is down here, kind of messy little area, but that Diva statue was so impressive, and it was like, I believe it was the first statue that I bought when I started, like, really getting into statues outside of the Rex, because the Rex I've had for a very long time. And once I got Diva, I was like, damn, this is a cool statue. Like, I love the pose. I know nothing about the character. I've never played the game, but it's just such a beautiful piece, well painted. You know, decals are great. And from that point on, I've kind of always had my eye on statues. But I do think, like obviously on CW we'll always cover the news, right? But I definitely think where I'm going with collecting, and Dean, I don't know if you're there yet, but I feel like I identify more just as a collector period. Like, I collect like Lego, 1/12, 1/6, and then statues. But I feel like I'm trending more towards buying statues. Like, the next thing that I'm going to buy, big purchase-wise, is the Sideshow, probably the Sideshow premium format Batman with the big cape. And nothing really that I've seen figure-wise has really tempted me. I did see the Miles Hot Toys, the Gamerverse one, yesterday at a local shop, and it looked great. And I love Miles. Miles is my all-time favorite character next to, like, Bumblebee and Gandalf. But I was just like, I would rather just spend $300 on a statue, like, to be honest. Because I already know the problems people are going to have with that Miles. The suit's going to stick together at some point. It's going to get stretched out. You know, creases are going to form on the red stuff. I just know things are not going to last long with that Miles. But I'll give you guys a look at this shelf. Let's see if that's a good look. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, I just think, you know, for my money, I think I'd rather just get a statue, like, going forward. And there'll probably be pieces that change my mind, but like the Daft Toys Pattinson that comes out in Q4, that's like $120 set. I'll definitely be picking that one up. But like $300 Hot Toys, it's probably gonna be pretty few and far between for me.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to see what these sell for? The Guts?
Yeah, I did. In fact, you just like went and shut the fuck up. So.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, I had to get you
How
back on
dare
your toes. Yeah, so the sold listings were the most recent one was $1,100 with $150 shipping, so you already saved money there. $1,350 with $100 shipping.
Bro, how are these people shipping this for $100? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think they are. They're just taking a hit.
Oh, okay.
$1,050 free shipping. They accepted the best offer, I guess. Oh no, they didn't. This one was $2,000, but they accepted best offer. I don't know what they. Damn, dude! Somebody got the Berserk Guts armor for best offer, and it's $700 scratched out.
What the fuck, bro? I think I overpaid for the statue. I'm gonna go get some money back. Just kidding.
Sold August 7th, so I guess right when he died. It's almost $3,000. Yeah, $3,000.
Yeah.
$2,800 with $150 shipping. So I mean, yeah, off the rip, you already saved minimum, $300.
Yeah. But like you said, I mean, these are pieces that are gonna go up, right? Like this is never gonna sell, like in the next few years below retail.
No.
I don't think.
No, Berserk stuff always goes up. And then, especially with Prime 1, even when they do another Guts, it's not going to be like this.
Yeah, definitely. I Am Legend says, I'm starting to see more people moving on to statues since Hot Toys just keep getting expensive, like Carnage at $600. Yeah. Yep, I'm right there with you. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's any more we can add to this statue. I think it's great. I just wish that the thing's keyed in a little bit better, and that's really my only complaint.
How's Zack being real picky?
Real picky. Dean, I think we gotta go to your house and do that Nosferatu Zod unboxing at some point.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta bring cameras and everything, dude. The whole Monty.
Yeah, I gotta talk to my sister about that when we gotta do it, because
Yeah.
statue is dope.
Hell yeah, dude. And tomorrow we got D&D. I think it starts at, 8 o'clock, I believe? Yeah, probably 8 o'clock. And it's going to be super fun. Check that out. It's our Halloween episode. The Patreonies got to vote on our bad guy for the special. It's kind of like I think it's like a side quest within the main quest. So that'll be tomorrow. Monday we got live unboxing. Tuesday CW. And we'll go down the line from there. But Dean, thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching our quick unboxing. I know it's kind of a little jank, but it's such a big statue. Just wouldn't have worked with our traditional unboxing style. But yeah, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
We'll catch you on the next whatever we do.
Bye.